Hey girl, what's going on?
Not much, not much. Just wanted to talk some nonsense with you today.
Ooh, yes, I'm ready for it.
Ready for it,
Yes.
period. Okay, welcome to our second episode, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about friendship because me and Annabelle are friends. Okay, but before we get started, let's check in with some news that has been going on within the last week. So Annabelle, you choose. I have pop news, and then I have like regular news. Which one should I do first?
Hmm, let's do regular news
Okay,
first.
let's do regular news. Okay, so you know TikTok, right?
Of course.
Yes, yes. So there's been talk in the atmosphere about a TikTok ban, and I remember this was going on like back in like I think 2021. They were talking about a TikTok ban.
Hmm.
But nobody thought it was actually going to happen at that time. Well, a bill was just passed to essentially either allow America to like an American company to buy TikTok, or to just remove TikTok from the app stores. And so this is going on because since, so many Americans, like billions, I think, of Americans are on TikTok, and it's not, an American owned company. This is, another country, China, I think, that is able to collect data on billions of Americans. So, I think it like, we were talking about the news with like the
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity and the healthcare industry last time. So I feel like this is kind of on par with, maybe why it is important to have some of our data protected. Because, if another country does want to incite war on us in like a cybersecurity type way, TikTok
Hmm.
essentially they're saying can be like a gateway to having access to our phones, our internet networks, our other appliances that are like connected to the internet, stuff like that. So, what do you think of all that? Because I know that you use TikTok. I had to get off TikTok like last year, but what do you think of it?
I actually just re-downloaded it 2 days ago,
I understand.
and I should have kept it undownloaded just because, like, I'm just like so much. But it's so informative. I like TikTok just because it's like I be finding things out that I would not have found, I'll say on my own, or
Mm,
like don't go looking for. I'm like, oh, I should look for that. Like it's like I've been seeing that stuff, but getting it banned, I feel like TikTok is like the best way
for
to
sure.
get a lot of voices heard. Everybody gets heard one way or another on TikTok. That's why things go viral. That's why everyone gets like their shops, their podcasts, everything like their small businesses get it out there, and it's the best platform to like launch everything to actually get it out there and be heard. So if that's taken away, I'm fairly positive someone here in the
Yeah.
US would probably find us a similar create one, that we can still
Yeah.
use for the same
There's
thing.
other ways to still have like that major platform, and get yourself out there. And it's like, well, if you, got a following from TikTok, you can just request that that following continues to follow you on the next platform. Like when Vine ended and all the YouTubers were like, come see me over on YouTube. I mean, yeah, I miss that.
Oh, fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine. Those 6 seconds were like really good
they
6 second
were. They
videos.
started a revolution. That's exactly what it
It
did.
did.
Yeah.
But I also heard that they were gonna try to make a Vine too. I'm not sure where that's at now, but I heard about it like
Hmm.
a year or so ago. They were like
I feel like, I
Vine
mean,
two. So maybe that's in the process. And if we ban TikTok, it'll probably come out, and then we probably all switch to that.
yeah, because I mean, it's like the same concept, pretty
Hmm.
much. Just short,
Literally.
short videos you can just scroll through. So
Yeah, they'll probably still like extend the
yeah,
videos
yeah.
too.
And I don't know. part of me, because, you know, I had to delete TikTok because I just thought it was really addictive, time consuming. And I mean, it's not like I'm someone who utilizes my time as well as I should, but it had me literally on there all day, every day. I wouldn't even consciously like go onto TikTok. Like I would just like pick up my phone for no reason. Next thing I knew, I was on TikTok. Like it was like TikTok all day, you know? And so I had to get off of it. Just because I felt like, you know, there's other ways to get information. And it's like I also kind of wanted to be more in control of the information I was receiving. When I was on TikTok, sometimes like I'd be scrolling and it's like they give you stuff that's like catered to you. But then also every once in a while they'll throw something in there that's like completely random, or really almost traumatizing. And I just didn't like that. I'm like, there's enough mess in this world, and I'm like, I want to be more mindful and have control over the information that I see, and stuff like that. Because it's like, even if you quickly scroll away, you can't you can't unsee what you've already seen. And I feel like it's kind of almost, it was, you know, it kind of like, while it like had so much information, it was like almost like too much information. I felt like I was like, there was a lot of ideas that were, you know, being planted, and the ideas, you know, correlated with what I believe, but it wasn't really giving me like a more open-minded viewpoint of everything else out there. It was just like, oh, this and that. So I just kind of was just like, let me just get off of it. I feel like there's more reasons for me to get off of it than stay on it. And I deleted my account. And Annabelle, like, I've actually tried to, I didn't delete my account. I mean, I just deleted the app. But I've actually tried to like get back into my account. And it's, I guess they banned my, I never posted on there, but I guess they banned my account or deleted it or something like that, because I can't get back any of, you know, my liked videos or the few videos that I did post. So I'm just like, like, I guess
that was
it was
your
meant to
sign.
be.
That
So
was
now
your
I have,
sign.
no motivation to go, even if I wanted to.
The whole sign, dude.
No, it's you
That
know,
was a
like,
billboard. It was like, don't go back. But you're not miss. Honestly, I was rethinking like uninstalling it again, like I mentioned earlier, and I was just like, man, I spent a lot of time on here. I could be using this time on video games, like progressing something. Whether it's like not mindless scrolling, it's literally because I like puzzle games. So I'm like playing those games. I'm like, I could be playing that. I could be using my brain right now, but not. I'm just going and going. It's a lot. So I don't know.
I found myself doing that too. So I honestly, like, I'm not fully against the ban, because I also feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's just not like fully the most healthiest way people can be using their time, and I don't think it's good for mental health, like, at all.
Hmm.
Because there's so much out there. You know, we have other social media apps, you know, that don't include like mindless scrolling all the time, or and things like that. And, you know, I just feel like it's a good time to just try to get away from it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like you said, like, a lot of people rely on TikTok for like exposure. So it's like, what's going to happen to those businesses if TikTok goes
Hmm.
away? But you're like, oh, someone else will start up another app, which is pretty much all this bill is saying. It's just saying, like, let America buy the app.
They just
Yeah,
gotta
so
make an
like we have
American-owned
control
one.
over this
Yeah.
American's data, you know? And I'm like, okay, it actually makes sense.
Hmm.
That's one of the, that's, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
Yeah, I feel like when I heard about it on TikTok, there was a lot of people that I saw they were against it just because for the same reasons that I stated, like that's where businesses are, that's where everyone thrives. It's just like, yes, but if we buy it,
yeah.
like gotta do. Same thing with like if it was taken down, you guys can start again. Like everything, it's not gonna be forever. Like there will always be another platform to jump to, especially in this day and age.
Do you feel like it would be kind of weird if like China didn't sell us the app?
Weird in what way?
Like if they just decided no? Like, because it would mean like that they really do value the information that they're gathering, you
Mm.
know, because it's like we're offering to like pay them
Mhm.
money for the app. Um, Otherwise, we're gonna just remove it from the app store and they
Mhm.
won't make any money at all. So it's like it's kind of, I feel like it would be kind of weird if they didn't sell it to America. So I feel like that's the
That's what we
scenario
should fear.
we should probably be talking about. Cause we're like not trying to get rid of the app. We're just trying to make it an American
Yeah, we're
owned.
trying to protect y'all.
Yeah.
Like, this is what like we're trying to protect you guys.
Yeah.
No,
Like
but yeah, I
literally,
agree.
that's what
That
it
would
is.
be kind of weird. What y'all doing with
They're
that?
just like,
Why do you
no,
need to know my birthday?
we'll fight you. We'll fight you for this app. Like that would be, it's weird
Mm-hmm.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For sure. Okay. Should I go on to the next news?
You said you had celebrity news, right?
Yeah, celebrity type news, pop culture news. So back in the day, you know, Annabelle, me and you, we grew up watching like Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Um, but little did I know that there was like, and I mean, there's been whispers throughout the years of like sexual abuse. Um, and I had no idea that it was actually, you know, to the extent that it was. And you know, Jeanette McCurdy, she came out with that book, I'm Glad My Mother Died, kind of exposing,
Yeah.
you know, the talent industry for children. And another actress, you know, Allison Stoner from Camp Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So she has a whole series called Dear Hollywood on YouTube, talking about the exploitation of children in the, you know, Hollywood industry and stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, these past couple years has really been like a discussion about that. And so there is a series on HBO coming out called Quiet on Set. And it's about, you know, just like the exploitation, sexual abuse of children on, you know, our some of our favorite shows. Like they have Drake and Josh on there. They have some people from I think like other Nickelodeon shows that like we grew up with, talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, I don't know, I'm kind of like really surprised, but not that surprised at the same time, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it happened because, that happens literally everywhere, especially like behind the scenes of like some stuff. What was it? It happens in celebrities or in like celebrities are like don't want to kiss in a certain movie and they're just like, I don't know, they're like going down like that kind of rabbit hole like thing. Anyway, but going back to it, I'm not surprised that it happened, but I'm more upset that it is happening type thing.
Well, I'm kind of sad that it ever happened, and I'm also sad that,
Hmm.
you know, I'm like not even gonna see like my favorite shows the same way anymore.
No, definitely. What was it? So, like, going back and looking at, going to your point of Jeanette McCurdy, when I saw like a clip of like not what I think it was her talking about a set of Sam and Cat or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, or not when she was in iCarly, and it was just like all the foot fetish stuff, and I'm just like, that's so weird. Like, why is it all about feet? Like, I always was just like, ew, because feet to me, I'm just like, stop. Later on, I found out that it was like I think it was Dan Schneider that had like a foot fetish, and so that's why like in Victorious and iCarly, like there's always something about feet, or they show their feet and stuff like that. So I was just like, something ain't right. Something is not right.
Yeah, it's not. And like, because it was kind of just like, this isn't really funny. It's more it's
Yeah,
more weird than funny.
cringe, as the kids say.
But now I'm like, that makes sense now. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah. But it's really, really sad. It's really sad.
A lot of people are speaking out about it too, right?
Yeah, a lot of people. Um, you know, Jeanette McCurdy, you know, with her book, she spoke out about it a lot. And she also spoke out a lot about how it'll be, you know, producers or, you know, people who just like work on the sets, you know, who will be, they'll befriend these child actors. And a lot of these child actors, like, their first
Hmm.
relationships will be with these older men who just, you know, work on the show. Jeanette McCurdy, her first relationship was with an older man who worked on the show. And you know, in many ways, like if the parents who were supposed to be involved protecting their children, if the parents are, you know, mentally ill themselves or are kind of, you know, almost manipulated to like stay, you know, away from the child and not monitor the child, you know, the child is vulnerable and is not protected at all. And so it kind of makes me look back because definitely like when I was watching those shows when I was younger, I was like, that looks so fun.
Hmm.
Like I would love to like be able to act on a set and, you know, be like a child star. But I'm so grateful that that never happened. Yeah, I'm so freaking
Yeah, I
grateful.
think I just saw I actually saw a TikTok earlier about a mom speaking from experience that her daughter was a child actor and was emailing with I wish I could remember the name with someone, and it was started off like fine, and she was like, Mom, look, like these are the emails, like she was very open about like what obviously she didn't know what was going on with it. And then the mom was like, oh, okay, like I'll let you, like that's fine, you guys are emailing about work, asking like how you are, stuff like that. And then one day she talks about how she was like in a different room, and then all of a sudden she hears her daughter turn off the computer and run to her room and lock the door, like slam the door, and start crying. And then the mom's just like, what's going on? Like, hey, what did you see? Like, what's going on? Like, what's go like? And then the daughter is just saying like, oh, so and so sent me a sexual, like it was like basically him doing something, and he's like, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you. And then that was a whole thing. She ended up uh, contemplating if she should call the police or something like that, and she didn't. She just kind of emailed the company like, "Hey, we're not gonna be going any further," and she just kind of took her daughter away from that, and they just kind of shut things down there. I'm not sure if any repercussions happened to the other person.
And I feel like, you know, and Allison Stoner, she touches on this in her YouTube series a little bit. The reason that kind of this behavior persists is because the parents themselves, or even the children themselves as well, are
Hmm.
so desperate to just like make it because it's so hard to actually make it. You have to, you know, look a certain way. You have to, you know, be directable. You
Hmm.
have to, you know, look young enough, not too young, you know, be a certain weight. Like there's all these things, all these hoops you have to jump through to like, you know, actually make it and be successful. And so when little things like not even little things, huge things like, you know, a child being sent a nude photo of a from a producer on the show or a creator of a show, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, this is happening, but we can't walk away. We've made it so far, you know? And I'm like, it's crazy because
Yeah.
it's like these children, they're not even like allowed to be children, really. They just
Pay
have
their
to, their
parents'
childhood is
bills
basically
and do all these
constantly trying
things.
to make it fit into a role, to work. And it's
Hmm.
actually really sad.
Heavy stuff. Very heavy stuff.
Yeah, supporting their family. So if anyone is interested in hearing more about this, going on the abuse in, you know, the child industry, child Hollywood industry, Quiet on Set, the first episode just came out today on HBO. So go check it out. I'm definitely gonna check it out after this. Um, so yeah.
That was some heavy stuff, Rachel. That I feel like definitely in this day and age, with all the dark things that are going on, it's really good to look at the brighter side of things and, just cling on to the hope that things will get better and still live life to the fullest. Me and you do a really good job at that, and that's actually one of the main things that I really love about our friendship is that we're both very positive, and we help uplift each other and everything. That's actually really what the plan for this episode was, talking about our friendship and all of that. So let's start off with how we met.
Yeah. So we met. Okay, let's see. I'll say it was like, what what was it like? Second semester of our freshman year.
Yeah, when we started.
Yeah. We were in the same advisory.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm
We were in the
third
same
floor.
advisory. I didn't really, huh?
I said, oh, Miss Bergdorf. I was
Yeah, Miss
well.
Bergdorf. And also for people who don't know what the advisory is, it's basically like a study hall. We went to a project-based school, so we called things differently, but it was basically a study hall.
It
So me and Annabelle were in the same advisory, but we didn't really talk like the first semester. Um, just because Annabelle, you weren't there very, you weren't in advisory very
no, I wasn't
And
because
so
I
I
would.
knew everyone in advisory, and then I knew Annabelle for being the girl who was never there.
I had an excuse.
Annabelle would be off doing something.
I had an excuse. I would either be in a different class getting help, or, um,
Oh.
or actually in the beginning of um freshman year, that was actually around the time where my parents were splitting up. So I would have a lot of like, what was it?
Mm,
Not conference. What is it called? Counseling. There we go. Counseling with the
counseling.
counselor.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at. So,
Mm.
but I'm glad we're here now. We're good. We're vibing. We're thriving. Uh, um,
We are. We are.
always. But
That was,
yeah,
yeah.
second semester, freshman year. Oh,
Yeah. So we were like 13,
was it
13,
what
14.
drew me to you? Like my first impressions of Rachel were just, I was just like, oh, she's really nice, and like that, and like Rachel has this awesome smile, as you could see. She's always like from ear to ear. It's such a contagious smile. And I'm just like, she has a really nice smile. So I was just like, oh, I like her energy. I like her vibe. And literally, I just kept like staying close to Rachel. I just love her energy. And I still do to this day love Rachel's energy. And the way that always love the way that she explains things too, because she knows exactly what I'm trying to say or what, like, how to explain it to me in a way that I'll get it. Like, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So I always love that, just the way Rachel's like how she talks and everything. It was just like always like yes. So that were my first impressions and current thoughts of Rachel.
Oh my gosh. Annabelle, my first impressions of you was that you were just like so cool. And also a little bit, and I think it's, and I look back on it now, and I think it's just like a way to like recognize that you really never truly know what anyone's going through.
Hmm.
Because honestly, like you said, I was so happy, I was upbeat, but I was also unaware of what you were going through at that time in your life when we met. And I just thought that you, you were kind of, quiet, but really cool and really genuine and still nice. But you just had like a very just like cool demeanor about you. And I really like to just like be the entertainment and like, make you laugh. And like, I felt like we vibed really, really well. And I just really, just enjoyed that because I feel like I needed someone to kind of bring me down sometimes, bring me a little bit, calmer. And I felt like you just like really balanced that out for me just like perfectly. You were so creative, really good at drawing, at art, had a beautiful, beautiful voice. Isabel can sing, you guys. She has such a beautiful voice. And also what really brought us close together was when our sophomore year we had Spanish class together.
Hmm. That, oh my gosh, that's actually one of the memories that I treasure. What was it? We got the project for making tacos, and we came over to my house, and
Hmm.
we were just doing a whole like a cooking show, basically in Spanish,
Yeah.
and like we were cooking, and we were
It was
just making tacos.
hilarious. Yeah, it was like a project based school. So, like, it was just countless projects that we
Mm-hmm.
had. We had a project to come up with like a music video. We had to like translate a
Yeah, we had to
a
translate
song
it.
like
Yeah.
into like Spanish. Yeah, and then a lot of like we could get extra credit if we brought food to class that was like Spanish food or something like that.
Loved it.
And so we would bring, Annabelle of course did the bulk of that, but I was there. Go over to each other's houses and we would make like rice and we would make horchata and we would make like a whole meal and just bring it to class the next day. And we would get extra credit for that. And so we kept doing that. And I think we just enjoyed each other's company because we were just like, you're my partner, every project, you're my partner. Um,
It was
so we
just
just
so
got really
fun.
close because of that. I did my first all-nighter project with Annabelle. You remember that for English class?
Yes.
We were up to like 4 a.m. We were working on, I think it was like a scrapbook project or something for English. And it was just so much. It was so much work. We did it all at the last minute.
Why we did that? Who knows?
Yep. Yeah.
I think we still
But yeah,
got a good grade.
that's how we became.
Man. Like going back to like funniest moments. What what is the funniest moment that you have of our friendship? Like a staple.
There's a lot,
Because girl, I
Annabelle.
have
Do you have
one.
one?
I have one that I think of
Let me hear
every single
yours.
time. And I bring this up a lot too. Is when you were first trying to learn how to drive stick shift. We were in the car with your dad. So you were driving, and it was we were so close. We were coming up to a roundabout, and then like we were just like, okay, I'm over there with my seatbelt on. I'm just like, yeah, this is cool. She's doing good. And then she forgot to change gears, and we're almost to the intersection, and she's freaking out. She's like, what happened? The car turns off, and your dad's just like, Rachel, precious child, please. I'm over there like, I was like, I was just like, she was doing so good. That and when we like what was it? Just driving with you in general when we were learning how to drive, and you were my partner for driver's ed.
We're in driver's ed.
And
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was we were doing the emergency stop thing, like how fast you could brake. That was fun. I found that so fun just because I was like, can I do it again? Like he was just like, sure, okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to drive. And I'm not ashamed to say I didn't get my license until I was 22 years old. Because I did not like driving. It gives me so much anxiety. And now that I drive, I like it. But before I was used to it, I just would avoid it at all costs. And I feel like nowadays a lot of people relate to that.
Hmm.
But back then I was like one of the few people who was just like, I'm just gonna get a chauffeur when I grow up. Like I'm not gonna drive. Because I would literally freak out so badly when I was driving. It would just make me feel like, oh, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah. Okay.
But those are
So
the moments that I
I
think about.
Annabelle, there are so many, we have so many funny memories. And I don't even know why this one popped in my mind, but I think it might have been for like the 4th of July or something. And we were walking around and we sat next to like a lake or something. And there was like some lights out in the distance. And we were going back and forth about if it was a boat or not.
To the pier in Kenosha. We were just sitting on the pier. I was just like, that looks like a boat. Like, it's not a boat. It looks like a boat.
Yeah.
Like, look at.
Like,
He's
it was
looking
such a
at
dumb conversation. It went on for like 30
way too
minutes or
long.
so.
Way too long.
Way, way, way too long. We were talking about anything else except for how this was a boat. Wasn't a boat.
It was.
And
I think I
I think
found that
it was kind
picture,
of a little late. It was during the summer.
but oh
Oh
my,
my god.
that was such a funny
Absolutely.
story.
I think I might have a video of it, but I just don't know exactly when it was. I might have had it on my Snapchat or something.
I think that's where
But
mine
girl,
popped up
also
too.
all the times when we just like been so hungry and we've eaten in complete silence.
Oh my gosh, please. You know what? This is gonna be an interactive question. Does anybody else just when they get food, you guys are just hanging out, as soon as you get it, you just focus on eating. There is no talking at all. Like
Like
you
nobody's trying to talk. Nobody's trying
nobody
to
should, all you just hear is the crunches, the bites. You're like, damn, this food is so good. Because we do that every single time without
all the time.
fail.
All the time.
To the point where we're just like, we're doing it
And
again.
then once we're done eating, we just look at each other. We just start laughing. We didn't even talk. We just said
Just not
words to
even
each
talk.
other. Nobody was trying to make no conversation. We were serious about this food.
Like, it was
And
That's one of the staples of our friendship, for real. Like, me and Rachel just love food. Just like when we eat, it's
love
heaven,
food.
heaven.
Yeah.
So,
So good. So good.
it's literally so good. So, one of the questions that Chat GPT helped us out on was, how is our friendship unique from other friendships? And personally, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, man, I was like, what does make it unique? And honestly, what makes it unique to me is just the love and not what was it? The balance that we have. Like going back to your point, we do balance each other out like really well. And so it's just like like there's no fighting. No, there's not a lot of but not okay, when I say drama, it's not our drama. So like it's not our drama. Like there's no
Never.
it's never our drama. It's like not that we like to talk a lot about a drama, but it's just like we
Oh
don't
yeah.
like it's not drama focused. Like what was it? Like if Rachel calls me, I need you to come now, like I'll be there. I'll make my way. I'll do my darndest to go type thing. Like it's I don't know, there's just this balance, this love. There's like this what was it? The way that I can go to her for anything. Literally, we went to a Chili's one time recently when we went to the Sam Smith concert, and had to tell her something, and I was just like, I just don't know how to feel about it. Like it was just like I was so confused, and then speaking with Rachel made me all this anxiety just kind of like go away. So she is just like, I'll say tranquilizer if I'm like in any type of like okay, like kind of stress, kind of picking things up,
Yeah.
yeah, type thing. Yeah, but that's what I think would make it unique to me, just because I haven't had many experience with like a friendship like this. So I value this one very much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Honestly, you saying I'm a tranquilizer to you, you're definitely a tranquilizer to me. I think that it's so easy for us to like spend time together, make plans together, and travel together because there's no drama component. And I feel like we
Hmm.
respect each other, we respect each other's time. We notice effort that we put into anything, and I would do anything for Annabelle. I really would. And I know that she would do anything for me. So there's never any that, I guess, wondering what you can take or wondering,
It,
what the other person has to give. Cause like, I feel like we're both just kind of like balanced in that way. Like, I'm
hmm.
like, I feel like I would just do anything for you because I truly know you would do anything for me.
Yeah.
And I never have questioned that in our friendship
Hmm.
ever. Ever,
Literally
ever,
never. I'm
ever.
just like, Rachel wouldn't.
Um, but I just feel like my mom has observed it before and she was just all like, y'all have such a drama-free relationship. Because I think one time, like, I was like on my way to get dropped off to your house when we were going to Belize or something like that.
Mm.
And I was just like, we can't find the house. What's the address? And you're just like, it's da 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 da. And I was like, over here? I was like, I think we passed it. And she was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And it was like that was the conversation. My mom was like, you guys have such a drama free relationship. Like it was very straightforward, very to the point. you know. And I also love traveling with you because even if like many times we've traveled together, like something just doesn't go according to plan. And even then, like we make fun out of it, we make it a positive memory. And it's like it's never nothing ever really, you know, sucks, you know, when I got my friend by my side. Because like
Serious.
even if things don't go to plan, like that time we got stranded in Texas, we really made like a really good time out of it. Like
I'm
we
still
really did.
so sorry for that. I'm still so sorry. I make it a point whenever I'm like, where is my
It was
passport?
literally great.
So the story behind that is we were going to Belize. That's I'm half Belizean. Um so we were gonna go visit my dad and my dad's family. So what we ended up doing, we're like, cool, we planned it out for multiple days. We were so excited. And literally day of, Rachel got dropped off, like we were gonna go. And as soon as we got to the airport, we're like on time. We're doing this, we're doing everything. I don't have my passport. I just had the passport card, which is a scam. Don't even get it. Um, but I didn't realize that you can only go through land and sea with the passport card. And to fly, you would need the passport book. Should I have known that before that? Yes, but I didn't. So we ended up staying in Houston um, for one of our connecting flights from Chicago. And we were just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we gonna do? So I called my mom. She's gonna next day air early AM the passport because she found it. I'm like, okay, cool. So, like, me and Rachel got a hotel and just so much was going on with that hotel. So much. They said they had a
Yeah.
pool. The pool was closed. It was a lot. The breakfast was great, though. The
It was a
breakfast was
lot.
great.
The breakfast was amazing. So they
So
got
good.
that right. But, yeah.
But
And then we went downtown and we got some amazing food. Some like Tex-Mex. It was so good.
so good. And the drinks were so good. What was it?
So good.
Was it the locals there that were working? Like they were helping us out. They were like, "Oh, you're only here for one night." Like it sounded like one of those like we're only for the night. Like we're here just for
Yeah.
one day only. Live it to the best.
Yep.
So they were like, "You should go here." They told us something about the garage. Not, we still don't know where that is
Mhm.
because we spent like a while walking
We just made
around
a list of all the
trying to
places we
find
told them to go. Yeah. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
it.
It's really pretty, Houston. And the weather was very warm, of course.
It was humid.
But yeah,
It was so fun.
even at nighttime. Yes. But it was good.
Yes, definitely. Overall, that was such an awesome trip. It was so good. And then what was it? What was that? Our New York trip when we got to New York for like, or not our New York trip, but we were coming back. I think it was on the way back home. We got a
Okay.
really, really early layover to New York, and then we were just like, oh, okay, maybe we can go out and look around. We weren't able to leave the airport, and it was so cold trying to sleep there. I think we were there at like 3 a.m., so like everything was closed. So I'm like, we're over there trying to sleep on the couches. I ended up sleeping on the table. It was just so much going on, so much.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Rachel's
Never
here with me,
again.
so we're
We're
cool. But
never doing never do an overnight layover. Just don't do it because it's cold. It's uncomfortable.
mhm.
And like every I think like 30 minutes there will be like this loud announcement going through the entire airport. Being
COVID
like, protect your
19.
items. You're not responsible for any items. Yeah, COVID-19. So the next day, for me and Annabelle, we always try to make something positive out of it. The next day, it was so weird because we saw all the shops open up at like
Mhm.
4 in the morning. And we woke up the next day and we went into one of the stores that opened up and we got like a New York
We
hoodie,
got matching New
matching New
York
York hoodies.
hoodies.
It's like we survived overnight
It's like,
layover. So I've never
yeah,
even been to New York
me neither.
before. We were just in the airport overnight.
We don't count that as we
Never
went to
been
New
over
York.
here. We can't even. We got hoodies now. We can't even count that. Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, our friendship, like even like when things, I love traveling together because I know that even if things like don't go, perfectly, like we'll still make it like a positive like experience that like we can look back on and laugh on. And so I really do like that because I feel like in some, friendships, it's like, oh, one thing goes wrong, like people kind of take it out on each other. People get into a mood, but I feel like me and you, like we're just very focused on making it positive and having a good time. So
hmm
yeah, I feel like yeah.
I feel like some of the past
So
friendships as well, like in past friendships, like I noticed that some of them are like a lot of take and no give, and it's just, and then there's also like some that I'll just be like, like, I'll be like, no, no, all love for the person that I'm talking about, but like sometimes it's like they have such a hard time, and I'm just like, oh, like I want to, like I'm a big helper, so I'm like, how can I help you? Like I want to help you. Let's spend more time together. Will that help? Like come over. Let's do more things. Like let me be there for you. I'm just like, but sometimes like
yeah,
doing that for a long period of time is just so draining. I'm like, I gotta help me too. Like I can't keep giving you what I don't have here. Like it's just hard for some friendships like that. But like don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna give up on them. But it's just sometimes they're just really hard.
yeah.
And ours is more free flowing.
Yeah, it's free flowing. It's chill. Like if we don't talk for a few weeks, there's literally nothing. There's no beef.
Literally.
There's, if it's even a few months, it's nothing. We're just like, how, like, are you okay? Like, how are you doing? Like, it's not, you're not being good enough to me. Da-da-da. It's never that.
Yeah, never.
Um, and I feel like that's how friendships should be
Hmm
because it's simple, and there's no drama there. It's just like someone who's just like built in there to support you, to be there for you,
hmm
and to pour into you, not, cause you any grief. And I think that something that I learned from friendships, in the past couple years, is that I need to kind of protect myself. Because some people, while want a friendship to be, drama free and simple and two people just pouring into each other, you see someone, you really care about them and you're their friend. Sometimes it's important to put up boundaries when you recognize that they're just like not in a place like emotionally, mentally, to be a friend that is going to be good for you. You're going to be good for them. You can give them everything that they need in a friend, but they may not be good for you.
hmm
And one thing my mom always told me, or she didn't always tell me, she told me this recently. She said, never give more than you want to give.
hmm
Like, you can give, like, if you're a giving person, you can give, but you never have to give more than you want to give. And I think in the past, like with friendships, I never had those boundaries because it was just like, I have to give as much as they need.
hmm
It wasn't about what am I able to give. It was about I just have to keep giving and keep giving and keep giving. But the truth is that that's not a friendship. A friendship shouldn't ask you to give more than you want to give, than you are able to give.
hmm
Right? So that's something I had to learn
Oh, same.
because I think that, you know, it's harder to give in those friendships where, you don't really feel like you're being poured into or encouraged or lifted up in any way. But it's really important to, recognize that you deserve that. And it doesn't mean that you have to cut off the friends you're not giving that from completely. It just means that you shouldn't give more than you are able to give. And if those friends have an issue with that, then that has to be an issue that they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just has to be.
It's a personal
It
problem.
has to be. Because you're not trying to take from them. You're just saying, I can only give so much at this time in my life.
Right. Yeah, all friendships are definitely different, for sure. But I like the one that we have. I love the one that we have. Seriously. What was it? Like, honestly, what another thing that I really love, like hanging out with you wise, is the traditions that we have. Like when we always go somewhere for like New Year's or your birthday, because your birthday's at the end of the year, same week as New Year's. So like we always travel, we're always doing something. So like that's definitely one of my
Always doing
favorite
something.
traditions. Definitely one of my favorite traditions.
Woo, I like it too. Last year's, this most recent one was my favorite one because it was the least stressful. Because sometimes, it's close to my birthday and things like that. It can be a lot, but I'm learning to, let some things go and just have a good time.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I love that too. I love that, we have those traditions and um are just, I feel like that brings us closer that we like have those things that like, we do that we always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, I mean, I know we like our friendship, and I think you're a good friend, and maybe you think I'm a good friend.
You are a good
But
friend. You're an
what do you feel
awesome
like?
friend.
I don't want to make assumptions. What else? What do you feel like makes a good friend? What do you feel like makes a good friend in general?
Man, what makes a good friend is someone that'll always have your back. Oh, so like, well, okay. So something for sure is just like if I'm wrong, you gonna tell me that I'm wrong. You're gonna call me out for it, but also if there's like let's say a debate, you're gonna have my back anyway, and then maybe pull me aside later. Hey, like you still kind of wrong for it. You're right. Like for small things, nothing major, but like someone that always has your back is definitely something that like I value in a friendship, because like it's like I'll always be there for somebody. I want them to have my back too, for sure.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like on par with that. So going off of like what you're saying with, someone that always, has your back, I'm thinking, someone who also just, has confidence in you and just wants the best for you, and believes in you. I think that makes a great friend. Because, if you're friend with someone who, you don't really see the best in, or who, you feel you have to put down behind their back or anything like that, like, not only is that a sign that maybe they're not the right friend for you, but it's also a sign that maybe you're also not the right friend for them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I feel like, in the past, like high school, things like that, it would be normal to have friendships that, girls would be talking about their friends behind their backs, people that they called friends,
Hmm.
and, saying negative things about them, nothing nice, nothing encouraging. And that's not a real friendship because, yeah, you don't want to, one, think those things about someone who you call a close friend. And two, you shouldn't say those things that would be hurtful to someone who's a good friend. So I think a good friend is just very confident and wants the best, for their friend. And that means, like you said, like being straightforward and honest with them, but not in like an accusing way, but like in just
Hmm.
like a very like respectful way,
Yeah.
in a very loving way, in a way of like, this isn't like you, like, I just want you to know, this is where I am, like, and check in like with
Hmm.
you to understand what's going on. But not in a way that's like, you did this and you're this person and you're no good to me, as like, yeah, I'm taking this a little personal, but
No, that's okay. Like I felt it. Yeah, honestly, what a good, like, I don't know, like good friends are like they're so not hard to come by, but if you do find someone that you mesh well with and like have the same like values, I think is the right word. Like I feel like you should hold on to that unless you find like the signs that like you guys aren't like friendship compatible, like you guys are always disagreeing or something like that, because like disagreements will come like literally in every relationship, but it's hearing the person out. Well, I guess my next, communication, the way that you both communicate to each other, like, hey, I'm feeling this way because you did this, and then them meeting you on that level and just saying, oh, like, maybe apologizing, or, oh, this is why I did this, explaining, not getting angry or anything like that. Just like the level of like patience that you have with someone, like, um, is definitely like a key point for me. It was like what a good friend is. Like, how much patience do you have for me? Sometimes I'm frustrated. Sometimes I'm frustrated. Or sometimes I'm a little, like I have my moods. Like if you have the patience to deal with that, like, for me, like you're a good friend. And I will definitely do that for you when the time comes. So definitely communications and patience.
I agree. And I'm like, I feel like communication is, I mean, it's so important. It's most of a relationship is communication, is just talking. Like, you can really like
Hmm.
someone, you can really enjoy someone's company. But if you don't communicate with them, your feelings, or if they did something that you perceived as just being like, wrong or hurtful, you're going to continue to
Hmm.
feel that way about that person. And communication, and this is something like I tell clients, communication is something that, it's not telling someone, that they're inherently just like a bad person, or that they're doing anything wrong. If anything, communication is more so, it's about the relationship as a whole. And it's communicating to
Hmm.
this person that you value the relationship so much that, you're communicating with them, um, so that they can stay in your life. And I think that that is something, that as I've taken like counseling classes, and as I've like, dove into like being like a therapist, like it's something that I've recognized that I've sucked at in the past, is communicating. But it's so important. But I think, like, it kind of goes back to almost what you said last week, Annabelle, like just wanting to be so forgiving, not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings, not wanting to make anything like a big deal. So we don't communicate. And it's like, if you really like someone and enjoy their company, it's hard to communicate sometimes because you think, oh, this is going to push them away. Yeah, but
Hmm.
I'm beginning to realize, with good communication, respectful communication, it should never push the people that are right for you away. It never should. Ever, ever, ever.
It'll just make the
So
relationship stronger. Romantic,
just
friendship,
make it
all
stronger.
relationships, it'll just make it stronger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's literally like all it does. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's hard though. It's like really, really hard. But I feel like we talk more about communication, like when it comes to like romantic relationships, but we never
Hmm.
really touch on how important it is in all the other relationships, including friendship.
Like it's important all across the board, all across the board.
It really, really, really is. Especially because people grow and people change. And that doesn't mean that, they think differently about you. It just means that maybe some communication needs to happen so that you guys can figure out, where you meet in the middle, if you feel like that you're just like growing apart or something like that, or there's some hurt that's happened in the past that's been interpreted negatively. Like, communication can just be such a powerful tool to, making sure that you're still feeling safe and comfortable with this other person in a relationship. So, yeah. But still working on my communication skills. But being in, a relationship now has definitely challenged them for sure.
No, same, honestly. I'm asking, well, right now I'm on the part of communication is like question asking, or, I have a lot of like past trauma of like communication not being there where like on the same level that it should have been, but it's just like asking those questions without fearing not repercussions, but like pushback, I guess is what it is. Like not being heard, basically, is what like I'm asking questions and not being heard or not being like told like, oh,
Mm,
okay, like not getting my vision seen type, like why I reacted or acted the reason or why that question is being brought up type stuff.
yeah. So like you want to voice your opinion and like let your opinion be heard and communicate your feelings, but you don't want anything to be like misinterpreted.
Yeah,
Is that what you're kind of
yeah.
saying?
Because for
Yeah.
me, most of everything is like face value. Like if I say I'm like, oh, something makes me like uncomfortable, like I might just be like that, or like or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it sounds like I'm putting more thought into it, but really it's more of like take it at face value. If I'm uncomfortable, that's all it is. Like that's I just had a question. Like it's like that's all it was. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's not that deep type thing. But I
It's
overthink it
really
myself is what it is, not the other person. It's like I overthink my own stuff, so I'm just like I just need reassurance for it. That's all I need. Like there's nothing behind any of the
yeah.
questions. It's just reassurance.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I think a lot of people feel that way because at the end of the day, all anyone wants is like confirmation that they're, loved and appreciated and respected. That, helps them feel
Mhm.
connected to other people and also feel safe and comfortable. So a lot of people, they're scared to communicate because they're just like, well, what if this person who, I feel so safe with no longer allows me to feel safe once I communicate or something like that, or I make them feel unsafe.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's kind of where we need to like nip the fear in the butt a little bit because all it's doing is like holding us back from like having a deeper relationship if we're not asking those questions,
Yeah.
if we're not really like communicating and being honest and I feel like if anyone listening like feels like they struggle with communication, I do too. I think a lot of
I think
people
we all
do.
do.
We all
A
do
lot of people
because
do.
we're not born in this world being taught how to communicate. Sometimes we're raised by people who themselves are still working on learning to communicate. So it's like, you
Mhm.
know, it's like we're really just trying to figure it out and, have relationships because we want relationships, we want connection. We're wanting to maintain those relationships, but also like feel comfortable in those relationships. But it can just be like really really hard, but communication is very very important. But let me not get into my therapist spiel that I give about communication, but maybe we could probably talk more about that as well. How do we maybe support each other during tough times?
I think I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, just like the way that like that going back to the one time at Chili's, like you were there, you weren't, it was like we were not in a rush, kind of. Yeah, we weren't in a rush. It was just like, I just really need to tell you this, and you were just there patiently waiting for me to like open up about like whatever I was going through at the time. And like, cause it was just, that's personally what I need is just like patience. Like, give me a second, I'll get there. I'm just a little nervous, but I will say it eventually. So the way that you support me is definitely giving me that patience. And like if something's going on, like the other day after the first recording, I just kind of told you everything that was going on, like stress wise, and it was just like you just really brought me down to see like a different side of like um and confirming like what my thoughts were. I was just like, okay, like I need to do this. It's like, but I'm not sure. It's like you need to do this, like seeing it from a different perspective, and I'm just, oh, okay. So definitely that helps in our friendship.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, it's very easy. And you might not even notice like when I'm going through something and I come to you. But I really just I find value in just having, a positive person there. Yeah. When like there's like
Mm-hmm.
stuff going on, a couple years back, um, with, everything that was going on. I think it was like 2021. And I had to come
Mm-hmm.
home from school, and you were there, and you were like the main person that I was like able to talk to, and it wasn't even always about what was going on. Most of the time it was just nonsense. It was just, just laughing, having a good time, joking, talking about memories, and just really enjoying each other's company. And there wasn't anything that was like adding to what I was going through. There wasn't any like, pain going on with you during that time. And I felt like that was really supportive as well. But then at the same time, like when I did have, something to like kind of get off my chest, like you validated it. You validated, my feelings, and you just made me feel like I was heard. You didn't try to like, fix it or anything like that. You just were just kind of like, yeah, like that's trash, and just validated it. So I think that, just having, you be there, and just be who you are, and our friendship being what it is like always like just like a great pick me up, um no matter what's going on.
That's awesome.
So last thing, I'm wondering, what did your, friendships can be hard to like lose. I feel like friendship breakups like hit really deep, um even like sometimes deeper than like romantic relationship breakups, because a friend is someone who, it almost feels like it's like a no strings attached, like unconditional love, type of bond, if it's a good friend, like our friendship. But,
Mm-hmm.
you lose a friendship, and it can be kind of hard to like get over, get through. I know we've both had like friendship breakups before. So, what have like you learned from that friendship breakup? What did like that friendship breakup teach you?
Well, one that I still think of to this day is I don't I don't know if it was like I still have questions. Like, oh my God, no. Anyway, yeah, so I still think about like I still have so many questions of why. So I don't have the closure, basically, is I don't have closure on that friendship breakup because it was sudden. It was kind of backhanded. Like I don't think I did anything. Like I literally had to ask. It was like not a family friend. Like my mom was friends with her mom, and like we grew up together. Literally had week sleepovers like in the summer. Like I'll be there like all week, and like then we'll go to my house, and it was literally we were so close. And I just, one day, it just kind of, she kind of fell off the face of the earth. She's still out there. But like, I never got closure. Like, what happened? I thought we were like cool. Like, you were my best friend. What's going on? Like, what? And I just never got an answer for any of that. And that, I think, is what still kind of haunts me till this day. I was like, what happened? Like, she actually showed up in one of my dreams recently, and I asked her in the dream, I'm like, what did I do something? Like, what did I do? Like, I haven't thought about that in a while, so the fact that it was in my subconsciousness, like, it's literally haunts me. Like, where are you? Like, should I reach out to you or should I just let it die? But, like, I really want that closure, and I think I still have that fear of that if I do reach out, I'm still not gonna, like, I'm still gonna be ghosted in a way. Like, you're gonna see it and then the person's not gonna tell me exactly what happened. So, I was just so confused. And it happened to my mother as well, to actually her mom. Like, it was just like a straight cut off, and it was just, we were just so confused. But yeah, that is something that, like, it's still very haunting. But there's also some other friendships that, like, that came to an end, but not to say that I wasn't sad about it. It was more of a it was time, just because, like I said earlier, like, I'm always trying to help, but I felt like in that friendship my help was taken advantage of. And like, when I needed help, that person wasn't there. And I was just like, okay, let me put you in a box here and distance myself, because I don't like that right off the bat, and I'm not the person that is going to stick around after I see that either. So that one
Mhm.
I slowly disconnected myself from, and it kind of just fell off on its own. So I, not to say I didn't feel sad about it. It was very sad because I thought we were all friends, but and then seeing um that friendship that we both shared, um seeing that once I started distancing myself, and then seeing things from your eyes too happening on your end, I didn't like that either, just because of why are you doing stuff like that, or saying something like that, or it's like, that's not you. So why are you painting it out for it to be like that? It was just that one I'm not 100% upset about.
Yeah. I think also that you did have to have a certain level of intuition and wisdom to even like be like, yeah, like I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a box, especially like if when it's like a friendship that you value, it can be kind of hard to decide, okay, I think it's time to be done. And so like when you had that intuition to, put that friendship in a box, I did not have that intuition. And so I had to learn to trust myself and never allow anybody, no matter how much I think they know me, no matter how much I trust their opinion in me, never let anyone basically dump on my character.
Hmm.
And that was something that I'm still learning, but I'm so grateful that like I kind of like had to wake up a little bit to like have that realization. Cause, you know, my last friendship breakup, it was a situation where I was being, out of nowhere, I was being villainized. I was being devalued. Um, I was being made out to just be just someone who I wasn't, someone who I would never want to be, someone who I make conscious efforts not to be. And it was so hurtful, not because, I was being accused of being these things, but because I was being accused by someone who I really thought knew me. And I learned that no, like, you know yourself. And if you know yourself, that's the most important thing. That opinion of yourself is more important than anyone else's. And I also had to learn to lean on my gut a little bit because, there were things, and this has happened in other friendships before, in situationships, there would be clear little things that would be just like, okay, that's not quite right. Or, okay, I don't really like that. But I would kind of stay in the situation, not communicate anything, just because I was like, okay, well, they don't do it to me. Or, okay, well, they treat me okay. They treat me fine. And I would just like move on. But that's wrong. And so I think I learned some like really important lessons from my last friendship breakup for sure. But friendship breakups are hard. Like, even as I'm talking about it, and I can feel you
Yeah.
feeling it as I'm talking about it, like it it's in your gut. Like,
Hmm. Like I've been holding back kind of tears. Like,
yeah.
oh, I'm holding back some tears right now. I didn't realize it hits me as hard as it does, like, or it did. And I was just like, man, like looking back, like there's so many fun times with those people. And
Mhm.
those feelings will always be there. I will still always look back and those like, oh, that was fun. Like, oh, that was fun too.
Yes.
Like going out, having those sleepovers, trying to like like what was it, baking cookies in the fucking 12 a.m. just just as a midnight snack. It's just like all of
Yes.
those like memories will still be so fun, are still so fun to have, but it's just more of like kind of like not a ghost. Like now they're not like a ghost, but there's just like not there anymore is what makes it sad. And like you can't create more. Yeah, but you could always create more with other people, and I definitely am so grateful for the people that I have around me in my circle now. My circle has layers now, like an onion, just like Shrek says. But like it's just like there are layers, and I
Girl.
just really, really love and appreciate everyone. There's actually someone that's like been my friend since I moved to Zion, and we don't talk very much, but like I love that girl. She is so flippin' awesome. And like literally it's just like wow, like I may not talk to I'm very bad at reaching out. It's just like but like although we don't talk on a daily, you still feel that I have love for you and I will be there if you need me or if I need you. Like it's like like friendship breakups suck, but there's always opportunity to like get other ones to take what
Yes.
you lost in that one relationship, friendship, and put it into another. Like, and there's like so many people out there, and now in the age of what was it, where everyone's just a text away, you don't need to go over to their house to just see them or anything. But like literally, you can keep in touch with anybody, just like for 5 minutes a day. Send a text message, see how like they're doing. Like that honestly makes the
Yeah.
world.
Annabelle, I needed to hear that. Like what you just said about, it hurts because you have these good memories with these people. but there's always new opportunities to make new memories with people, with other people. Because I think that, after a friendship breakup, or a relationship or situationship ending, it's, for me at least, I would put up a wall to be like, careful, be like, tread lightly, you know? But at the end of the day, it's also important to remember that, you don't want to miss out on the new opportunities, while you're trying to protect yourself from, this other scenario that happened in the past. You might also be missing out on, new opportunities and new memories, new happy memories that could be formed. So I think that was really important, for you to say that, for sure.
I have our fun fact.
Okay, let's hear it.
My fun fact for today, is that, and I found it so adorable, is that some cats are allergic to humans. All that, and I was just like, wow. So you're killing me with allergies, but I could kill you with allergies if we're allergic to each other. That's wild to me. And they get similar symptoms. Cats would get their paws will swell, or like they'll wheeze, or their like eating patterns are different, or like they'll use the bathroom a lot, like explosively. And it's just like they're so allergic, but it's so uncommon just because like we're the one species that like shower very frequently. Like we're still, like
Yeah.
we're so clean, I'll say, but like they can be allergic to us. And I was just like, oh man, I don't want, like, you could do that to me, now I could do it to you. Because I'm allergic to cats. So I'm just like, you want to make me sneeze, I'll make you sneeze.
That's wild. I wonder what it is about humans that they can be, because we don't have fur like they do, We don't
Mhm.
have dander, do we? I
That's
don't
why
know.
it's so uncommon. That's why it's so uncommon. It's just like, I think it's more of like, depending on like, maybe obviously not if you live with them, but like if they're allergic to like certain, like, they're because they're very sensitive. Some cats are sensitive as well, so it's like it could be a certain shampoo that you use and they don't like the smell of it or something. It could be like
Got
literally
you.
small things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Wow. Learn something new every
Heck
day.
yeah. Nobody make your cat allergic, please. It makes me so sad.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know if you can hear that in the background. My roommate just came in. But okay. I guess
Well,
that's all we got for today, right?
yeah, that's everything.
Okay. Well, girl, I've enjoyed talking this nonsense with you. Even,
Well, this was
kind
some
of ended on
serious nonsense.
some serious stuff
Serious.
today,
Nonsense. Ooh,
Gosh.
it was such a roller coaster. Down
It
to
really
up.
was. Yeah, but I love it. And, nonsense it can be happy and light, or it can go a little bit deep, talking about emotions and feelings. Like crazy.
Tuck those away now.
Done with that. Okay.
Not those, anyway. But yeah, everyone, we hope that you enjoyed today's episode of friendships and other serious matters. Um, Please check out our Instagram. You're listening to this on Spotify. If you want to see the video version, you can head over to our YouTube, and all of that will be listed below. Um, yeah, Rachel, thank you again for taking this time with me and hanging out, talking some more nonsense. And we'll see
Nonsense.
you all in the next episode.
Bye.